Okay, so I actually got a pretty good request in the RoVFX Discord server, and this is something that hasn't really been made before. I think it's going to be the first video tutorial on it, at least for Roblox VFX. I know that this is probably very common for Unity and Unreal, but this is just going to be a tutorial on how we can make mesh flipbooks. So there are two things that are kind of already difficult to make. Meshes, as a VFX artist, a lot of you probably won't have Blender experience, and flipbooks, of course, they're just pretty difficult to make in After Effects. They've got, just takes a lot of experience, but hopefully this tutorial can make it a little bit easier for you guys. So I'm going to start by going into Blender. Any version works, but I'm using the latest 5.0. Ideally, you guys get a pretty good grasp on how Blender works, like the shortcuts and stuff, but I'll be kind of narrating what I do just to help you guys out. So what I like to do usually is I spawn in a plane. So I press Shift A, add a plane, and yeah, so for now we're going to click on this button. This will preview materials, and what materials are is basically these will be images, or pretty much the texture that we're going to add to this. So hope this doesn't crash. Yeah, Blender is kind of finicky, guys, so if it does act up on you guys, then just give it some time. So what we want to do is press the yellow button here and click image texture, open, and what I like to do is I like to just get a pretty just like a standard beam texture, just so I can preview how it looks. So I'll just search up beam, and we will oops, hold on, let's do this, and we'll grab any tiling texture. Really, we'll do this one for now. We'll do this one works. So as you can see, there's the texture. And yeah, so now we know what the texture will look like when it's on a mesh, and now we can actually adjust the mesh accordingly. So I'm going to rotate it by 90 degrees on the y-axis, which will flip it on this side. So yeah, a lot of this stuff just comes from just knowledge of Blender, so I'm going to move it up by 1, and we're going to, oh yeah, by the way, I'm in edit mode for all this. So switch from object to edit mode, just press tab. You can select the vertices. I have them all selected. And once you've done that, we're going to move this probably around 5-ish units. So press G, then X, then 5, or whatever axis you're moving on. Now you're probably wondering, how do we go from here to it actually being a... We're going to do like a ring kind of effect. So you want to press this button right here, the modifiers, and add a modifier. We will add a search for mirror. Now what that'll do is it'll spawn right across. So if you rotate it, it'll mirror it pretty much. That's what it is. So yeah, now we're just gonna try to sort of make this into a diamond shape. So we're going to add a subdivision in the middle. We'll do that right there. Oh, just click once. There we go. And we will drag these all the way in. Now, as you can see, they don't really meet up nicely in the middle, but there is an option we can do to fix that. So you want to click clipping. What that'll do is just makes them link nicely in the middle. You can freely adjust them a lot easier really. And we're going to scale this up by 5 because the width was 5, so the height is also going to be 5. Now we've already got a pretty nice shape going on, but obviously it's, you know, very jagged. If you want to mesh, it's going to be pretty smooth. So what we're going to do is we're going to add subdivision surface. Now what this is going to do is it's going to smooth it out, which looks already pretty good, but we're going to increase it by 2. So this is looking pretty decent already, but I think it would be cooler if we could adjust how the tile works. We're going to try that. We're going to see if we can see, I'm not entirely sure how this kind of stuff works. It just makes fun of it. Okay, yes, that doesn't really work. So yeah, as you can see, the texture does tile. It's a symmetrical texture. So we're going to no, not that yet. For now, we're gonna make a duplicate of this. Control Z, Control V. Hide the other one by pressing the I button, just for a backup. It's always good to have backups. We're gonna apply the mirror by pressing Control A. Now that's applied. Now we can better adjust the mesh. We can just size it up like this to make sort of a dynamic ring kind of thing. And yeah, I think this is looking pretty good so far. We can make it a bit smoother, but not really necessary. This looks pretty good already. So we're going to apply the subdivision. We'll do Control A. And look at that. So we want to kind of get rid of these unnecessary vertices over here because they don't really have a purpose. Because it's linear the way the mesh goes. So we can just make, instead of this being 4 faces, this can just be 1, and that'll make it a lot more optimized. Obviously this mesh is already like 128 triangles, so it's already a very small mesh, but optimization is always good to have. So I actually don't really know how to do this. I've seen other people do this, so let's experiment, see what I can do. So I think this would be dissolve. Okay, definitely not. Let's see if I can dissolve this. Definitely not. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm a learner as well, so be patient with me. Give me a second, guys. Okay, I figured it out. It's not that hard. What you want to do is select all the vertices you just want to, or the edges you want to get rid of. I'm in the vertices select. This should work as well. And when you press delete on your keyboard, or just to delete vertices, nope, not like that. Ideally press delete on your keyboard. Hopefully you have one of those keys. Now click edge loops, and that should pretty much, okay, I did it wrong. Sorry. Let's do them one by one. So we'll do this row first. We'll do delete edge loops, delete edge loops, and then delete edge loops. And yeah, there we go. We already have a lot more optimized mesh. This is 32 triangles now, which is a lot less than 128. So yeah, it's a small thing, but it's a good habit to have. I'd say it's a very good habit to have. Now, if you want this texture to tile a little better, I guess, or more have more of the shards there, I guess. You can always scale up the UVs, so you can do it by 2. Pretty much any number, I think, or any whole number, I believe, will make the tile stay intact, I think, or maybe just try to stick to 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm doing this by pressing S, X, not X, Y. Then just scaling it up. So we'll try the X-axis as well. We'll do like SX2, SX3. You already see what kind of effect this is making. So that's the easy part of meshes done. Meshes is probably the easier thing to do here. But the difficult part is flipbooks. Flipbooks are pretty difficult because, of course, the texture, 1, needs to tile, and 2, it also just needs to look and flow pretty well. And I'll be real, this is probably my first time doing a mesh flipbook. I wanted to see if I could do it. I've done meshes before, and I have worked with mesh flipbooks before, kind of, not like mostly slashes, but all the new gen cool stuff using like the anime style stuff. I've not really experimented with all that, but it does look very cool. And I'm excited to try that stuff. So we're going to try something like that. We're going to try to make an anime style thing. So we're going to open After Effects, which is my favorite program for doing flipbooks. But obviously you can hand paint them in not Blender, Photoshop or Krita or whatever drawing program you use. Or we can generate them in After Effects, which I think is a lot easier. But yeah, it also gives you more customization. You can make more realistic looking stuff, I suppose. But yeah, what we're gonna do a new composition. We'll do 512 by 512, because remember, this is gonna be 16 or however many frames. I'm doing 16, so it'll be 16 textures that will be uploaded. So obviously you don't want to be loading in like 2K or 4K textures, because obviously that is that'll not be good for performance, 1, and 2, it's just going to be kind of unnecessary unless you're doing like mega realistic, you know, Clair Obscur, Witcher, like GTA kind of effects, which if you are, then that's great, but you might want to find some other ways to do that. So we're going to start the composition, and right now we're just going to do a normal effect. We're going to do a solid, white solid. We'll scale it down. You can click this button to unlink the X and Y axis. We can scale it down just horizontally opposed to vertically. But we will scale it up vertically, so when we apply effects, they won't just like clip out randomly. So we'll do that. We'll just do whatever number you want to do. And now we're gonna add a pretty good effect, turbulent displace. So this is pretty good. Yeah, you can already see the kind of effect it's making. This will be really good for stylized stuff. But you can see the issue start to form here, where this obviously won't tile very smoothly. We should probably scale this down just by a tiny bit so it's not going off the canvas that much. But yeah, you can already see the problem here where this doesn't look like it's gonna tile properly. It may look like it here, but I'm pretty sure that it won't. If it does, then I'm a chud. So yeah, we're gonna try to make something pretty cool looking. Hopefully, I'm experimenting, so bear with me. Or it might actually be better to use a shape. I think using a shape might be better, or we could maybe feather the edges of the. Okay, I know what I'm doing now. Oops. Okay, delete everything I just did. Do as I say, not as I don't know. Do as I say, not as I do. We're gonna do a new shape. We're gonna do a mask instead. So once you have the solid, select the shape. Then you can make yourself a little mask. Ideally, we just do it the whole size of the thingy. So Alt and Shift to scale it uniformly. Nope, I'm an idiot. Scale it however you want. I'm gonna do it just like this, I suppose. We'll do that. And we'll do the same effect. We'll add turbulent displace. And it's affecting the edges now, which is great. That's what we need. So we'll do that real quick. But yeah, the problem is that the texture won't really tile. So I will need to find a solution to that, which I probably will pause the recording to go look. But yeah, for now, I'm just going to try to teach you guys on how to make a nice looking texture. So I'm going for a kind of stylized thing. Something pretty simple, not anything like mega hyper realistic or whatever, just a nice little cartoony kind of wind. So wind is, or anime kind of wind is very long, very it distorts vertically, I suppose you could say, or yeah, vertically, sorry. Yeah, so this kind of thing would work well. Yeah, so we're gonna mix and match these kind of effects. We're gonna start with just a normal turbulent, and then we're gonna just scale it like that. I think this will look pretty cool. Maybe turn down the complexity or turn it up. Yeah, like I said before in my previous videos, all of this stuff is just really a mix of trial and error, seeing what looks good and what doesn't. So you're not gonna get it on your first try. Don't expect to make like a crazy looking effect on your first try. Keep in mind that this is kind of my first time experimenting with this kind of stuff as well, so obviously I'm not going to be the GOAT, not yet, but yeah, it just takes time, and stick with it. We're actually going to start with rough and edges. I think that will be a pretty better looking effect. We'll add turbulent displace later on, so we will do that. We'll do spiky because that usually looks really cool. We'll stretch it vertically. We'll expand the mask. Can I make this? Oh, that's kind of annoying. I think I can just scale this up. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Bear with me, guys. I'm trying. We'll make it. Okay, yeah. I'm seeing the vision here now. So we'll make the complexity a little. We'll do like 2, I guess. Fractal influence, probably, yeah, very high. It's going to be stylized. We need that. Edge sharpness, definitely need that. We'll try to max it out. Probably will apply a posterize effect, which will give like a nice sort of cartoony contrast look, which will look very nice. I think if we do this, we can probably scale the width down. We can get a nicer looking. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Scale this up. Oh yeah, this is going to look pretty cool. So from here, I'm gonna add a subtle feather. Yeah, we'll do something like that. Okay, we've got this, which looks pretty passable for now, you could say. But I need this to tile. Let me just, oh, that's a little crazy. Move this up here. Oh, this is weird. Sorry guys, this tutorial is gonna be a bit all over the place because I'm learning along with you guys, so be nice in the comments. Don't be calling me washed. There we go. This is the kind of thing I want. I think it's a little too crazy though. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. We need that little vertical stretch. Yeah, there we go. That's nice. Okay, cool. Maybe shrink it by a little bit. Ooh, this could be like a nice subtle wind effect. Yeah, I like that. We change the evolution. No, not that. We'll change the evolution of it. Ooh. Yeah, a lot of this is experimenting. I've probably repeated that like a gazillion times over these videos, but stick with it. You'll get something cool. Hopefully this ends up cool. If I make something shitty for the tutorial, then obviously this won't really help many people, but gives you guys a good starting position, I guess. Yeah, posterize. I might have to pre-compose to posterize. Yeah, I think I do need to do that. Or I could, no, I think I do have to, or I could do the Sapphire. Sapphire is a plugin that I highly recommend you guys get. There's lots of ways you can get it. It's a paid plugin, so, you know, take that as you will. But yeah, this is looking better. So we'll try to posterize it just a teensy bit so we get that little cartoony shading. Yeah, this is looking pretty cool already. Okay, I think it does look a little too watery, I guess. You can see it kind of looks like a ripple. We'll try to scale this up a little more. Yeah, I think this is it. Okay. So we're gonna make this effect. We're gonna do the flipbook first. We're gonna do this, then this one, this. We'll have the starting frame look like this. Nothing too thick or crazy. We'll do that. Then it shrinks down to this in the last frame. Yeah. Yeah, I can see the potential in this. This is gonna pretty much mirror on the other side, I believe. So, okay. We'll see how it looks. If it looks bad, then, you know, just takes more experimenting. But now I need to figure out how to make these tiles. So give me a little bit. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, I've made some changes to the texture. I probably still will change it a little bit because tiling these kind of stylized textures is pretty difficult. I'll show you how it looks without posterize. So we'll take off the posterize, we'll make the sharpness a lot less, make it a bit softer. As you can see, pretty nice looking, you know, Dragon Ball kind of maybe beam or like a flight or aura charge texture. And when I tile it, it looks pretty normal if you ask me. Yeah, looks pretty standard. But when I add the posterize and I sharpen it up, you get this really hold on, you get this really ugly like transition here, because I'll show you guys how to blend it, but the way it blends it is that it only really works for softer kind of textures that don't have stylization. So for that kind of stuff, you probably will need to draw the textures, which is, of course, it's a learning thing. I'm personally myself, I'm trying to teach myself how to draw and paint. So yeah, for that kind of stuff, After Effects probably isn't the best, but I'm gonna try to cross over and try to just make this into a less of a stylized texture and more of something that's kind of versatile everywhere. So we'll make the sharpness a lot less. We'll do bigger scale. We can do like kind of, ooh, this could be like a nice be like a Fighter Z kind of inspired texture. Of course, not as cartoony and stylized, but you see the vision here. think I'll do something like this. This could be like a nice little wind effect. So now that I have this, this is probably going to be good for our base texture. I'm pretty happy with this. I've never actually made an effect that looks like this before, so I'm probably going to make something like this in the future. So what we're going to do is we are going to, I'm going to delete this for now, just so I can teach you guys how to do it again. We're going to make a new solid anything and make it transparent. What we're going to use this for is just to pre-compose. There probably is some way to pre-compose without doing that, but okay. I don't really know how, so this is the method I'm going to do. This is how it looks dissolving. I'll make it fully fade out actually. I don't want it to have lingering thingies. We'll do this, yeah, this will be pretty cool. So we'll do that. And let's pre-compose them. So I'll make name it whatever you want. Once we have this, we're gonna make 2 layers. We're gonna do one which is called we'll rename this to tile, and I'll rename this one to base. So with the duplicate, you're gonna want to smooth this up by pretty much make it 0. Yeah. So the first effect we want to add is something called retile. Retile. Oh, tile. Am I stupid? Hold on, sorry. Okay, it's not called retile, it's called repetile. So repeat tile, I guess is what it stands for. It's pretty stupid, but we're gonna expand this downwards. As you can see, this clearly does not seam. This looks very kind of ugly, but we're gonna fix that. We're gonna do blend borders. Look at that! It's looking a lot better already. I don't know why there's that hardness in the middle. I think that might be from the original texture. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll try something else. We'll try blend. This could make it a bit smoother. We'll do the source base and yeah, no, I've got no clue. But this already looked pretty good, aside from the random sharpness, which hopefully wouldn't be too visible in game. So we're going to, I think this is pretty fit for an expert. I think this would be pretty cool. We'll see how this looks in Roblox. Hopefully it looks pretty cool. If not, then you know, learning experience, you can always make this stuff again. So yeah, once we have the texture, we're going to export this. So we're going to do export, add to render queue, change this to RGB. Oh, hold on. Change this from H.264 to PNG sequence, and this to RGB plus alpha. Okay. And just save it wherever you want. I'm gonna put this right. Put it right here. We'll call this beam. No, not beam. Mesh flip test. That's what it is. We'll save that there. Render. It's pretty quick. We're gonna preview how this looks in Blender first, just to see that it looks, you know, decent. Mesh flip test. Pre-comp. Grab any frame. I'm gonna do this one. And yeah, I can definitely do better, but this is definitely a start. One thing we can do is we can definitely scale down the x-axis to make it fill out more of the frame, I suppose, or the mesh. So if we want to preview how this will look when it's flipbook, we can actually do that in Blender. So we're gonna do something pretty cool. We're gonna do, if I remember correctly, hold on. Okay, to preview the flipbook in Blender, we're going to click image sequence, and what that'll do is we'll set the number of frames. There'll be 16 frames. The frame will be 1. Auto refresh, cyclic, and we're gonna just select all the textures that we have. So we'll do this real quickly, and fingers crossed, hopefully this works. Yeah, there we go. So you can kind of see how the flipbook looks. Yeah. It looks pretty good when scaled up like this. I can definitely see the usage for this, maybe. But yeah, now if we want to get this in Roblox, what we're gonna do, now a little thing I like to do with my meshes before I import them is a little trick that UGC creators use actually. If you've seen neon items on the catalog where they're not really neon, but they don't look like they're affected by shading. That's a really cool thing that you can do in Blender with data transfer. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab a plane and scale it up to roughly just a bit over the size. So you can do even more if you want. I'm gonna just make it really big. We'll do that. And we're gonna get a spotlight. So Shift A, spotlight, and just bring it all the way up. Make that very bright. We're gonna do like super bright. We'll do sun actually. I think sun is probably the most strong. Or yeah. Let me see how it looks in render. We just see. Hold on. 1 billion. Even more. Yeah, this should be good. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to do select this, add data transfer. So what this will do, we're gonna do, if I recall, it is hold on, let me be sure. Okay, yeah, I remember. It was face corner data, and the source is gonna be the plane, and I believe it is custom normals, maybe. I think this is it. Yeah, I think this is the way. Pretty sure at least. I think if I go to solid preview, it'll show me better. Yeah, there we go. Okay. We're gonna, I think if you adjust the angle of the plane, it's different shading. Yeah, so if you do that, I think whichever looks best for you. I'm gonna do something like, where it's good look from all angles. Yeah, something like this works perfectly, really. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the apply data transfer, apply smooth by angle, and we can pretty much delete these two now. And we'll go to material preview. Looks pretty much the same, but in game it'll look much different. And one last trick we're gonna do is we're gonna make it double-sided. So if we're using special meshes, that option won't be available. If you're using just normal meshes, then yeah, that's pretty much okay. You can just export it like this. But if you are using special meshes, which you probably should be doing, they're or at least I prefer using them for now. I've not really experimented much. Okay. Sorry, I have to get some food. Now that we're here, we're gonna make it double-sided. So we're gonna size this down by just a tiny bit. You can hold Alt S to scale it uniformly, but I don't know why it's doing that. I think it's nope, definitely not Control. Okay, just size it down normally just by pressing S, then scaling it down. Then when you have that selected, do mesh. Sorry, some spicy noodles. Then face data. I think it's. Did they change the UI? No, sorry. Oh, I'm stupid. And I think it's. Am I crazy? Hold on. There should be an option that just says invert face. Oh yeah, here, invert normals, flip. There we go. Ooh, I thought I was washed. Okay, yeah, there. So once you've done that, just merge the two by pressing, or just right clicking and click join. And yeah, now you have your mesh. Play the flipbook. It works like a dream, looking good. And yeah, now we can put this into Roblox. So I'm gonna do export OBJ, then find where you want to export it. So for me, it's in mesh flip test. Do selection only, and yeah, just click export. So let's make a new Roblox Studio project. Wait, no! Yeah, I was scared of leaking, but it's okay. All is good, all is well. Now, from here, what we're gonna do is we're going to view asset manager meshes. Now we'll find the location of where we put the last one, which is mesh flip test, untitled.obj, put it right here. Wait for that to import. While that's doing that, we're gonna do press plus on the workspace, add a part, make it like 1, 1, 1. We'll bring the position to 0, 0, 0, so it's right there. And yeah, now we've got that, we're gonna move this up a little bit and add a special mesh to it. Now copy the mesh ID, paste it in here. There we go, we've got our nice little mesh, and as you can see, the neon effect is already there. You can already see how it's not affected by lighting, which is very, very cool. Yeah, definitely very useful. You can kind of see the seams here, which is a little bit annoying. Maybe I can fix that in Blender with shade smooth, but for now I'm gonna just leave it like that. And to make this a mesh flipbook, I'm gonna be using VFX Forge, which is a paid plugin. So we're gonna make a folder just called VFX Forge, why not? And group this as a model. We're gonna name this mesh. Name this to start, duplicate it, and name this to end. And make them transparent ideally. And now we're gonna click on the mesh flipbook importer. So what this does, it opens a little cool UI. Just click plus, then select all the textures you're importing. So pre-comp 2, let's select all of these. And it gives you a really cool little preview. Pretty cool. We're gonna make this a lot slower. I don't know why it's like 60 FPS with 20. Yeah, it's a lot better. Now just click upload. Now, this should just work, I think, maybe? I'm not really sure how, VFX Forge's mesh thing really works. I'm still pretty new to it, but yeah, let me not eat on mic. It'll be really gross. You'll hear like ASMR, which is not why you guys are here. Maybe I'll do like a little side venture in that if you guys are interested though. Okay, yeah, there we go. Mesh flipbook importer. Okay. I think we have to import these into Roblox normally, I think, first. So we'll just import all of these textures, all the pre-comps. This will take a minute, so I'll just put this on the side while we wait. For now, I think we just had a decal, I believe. We just had decal, then mesh, go back to curve editor, mesh decal, there we go. We'll do something like that. Emit. Yeah, that's not it. I think we just have to put all these in here, I think. That's how it works. So we'll just insert. And, oh my god, I hate how Roblox does this. Just doesn't name it. Why does it not name it, Roblox? Why? If I drag it? Yeah, I've got no clue. We'll just try copying all the decals over. Let's see if that works. Hopefully it does, because I do not want to have to manually rename all of these. That would suck. Why is it on the base? Okay, whatever, dude. We'll move these there. No. There. Sure, dude. Put it there. Put that start right there. Then we'll make these all transparent. And emit. Okay, I'm doing something wrong here. I put these on end, I think. Yeah, I think that'll fix it. Bam! There we go. Okay, you can definitely see it. Let me make the part transparent. We'll do one, emit. Hey, there we go. Let me see if I can make, yeah, I think I can make the mesh decal just not go invisible. So we'll just do, there we go. Ooh, that's not what I want to do. That's not what I want to do at all, actually. Okay. I'm gonna click this, maybe? Whoa! Okay, I have no clue why it's looking like that, but, that's, that's how you import mesh flipbooks. There's probably something I'm doing wrong here, because I'm not that used to using, VFX Forge. I'm actually not really sure if I'm doing this correctly. Let me try to see if the other flipbooks are important on me like this. We'll just do this. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Yeah. This looks so shitty. What the hell? Okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm not getting distracted. Here. So yeah, that's how you do a mesh flipbook. Obviously, this isn't really the best example. It's an example for sure. It is definitely an example. Maybe if I just change the transparency, I think the mesh decal is pretty strong. I'm gonna do like this maybe. Do like 0.5 start. Yeah, it's looking a bit more normal, but yeah, that's pretty much how you do it. You can obviously make the color more intense. So we can do like, we'll do like the first frame, or just all of them. We'll make it like 900 by 900 by 900, and this will add like a nice little glow to it. Yeah, you can see that. That's looking a lot better already. So yeah, that is how you make mesh flipbooks. I hope this helped. I know there's a lot of pauses in the video, so bear with me, and I know I had to pause the recording a lot and do my own research, but I just wanted to make an easy way for you guys to see what you could do without you having to do the research yourself, because I know that it can be very daunting and pretty difficult to just find out what to do on how to make VFX stuff. But yeah, this is the texture, and I probably will open source it because I'm not that happy with it, and maybe you guys can find some cool uses with it. Maybe when I just scale it vertically, I don't know. Let's see how this looks. This is gonna be weird. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's definitely potential with this. There's definitely potential for sure. So if you guys do end up making something cool with this, then do show me, because that would be very cool. But yeah, thanks for watching. The thing will be in the RoVFX Discord server, which I should put an invite in the description. But yeah, thank you for sticking with me through this almost, I think, 30-minute or nearly 40-minute long video. Sorry guys, I could probably make it shorter if I wasn't doing research in it, but you know, I like to make it feel real, make it feel raw, you know. So yeah, that's it for the video. If you guys thought this was helpful, or if you enjoyed it, if this can help you out with your VFX creations, then I'm very glad. And yeah, leave me with more suggestions with what you want to see next. But yeah, that's all, and thank you guys very much for watching, and good luck on your creations. Have fun.